push it as much as you can, hold for about 4 seconds. The next one, pike push-ups, we did yesterday, which is like doing down dog into tripod headstand. Quick demo is try to make sure that your head is moving forward of your hands with your scapula protracted. Okay, or higher, however you want to do it. Strict tempo push-ups, down on the count of 5, up on the count of 1, or if you can't get back up without doing some sort of weird up dog looking thing, just go down. Each time. Like this. And then start again. So it's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You should be able to rest and then pop back up. If you can't pop back up, just get up anyway. Single leg handstand jumps. When everything that says SL is single leg, so it's 10 total, not 10 each side. So it's 5 and 5. So that single leg handstand jumps, all those, you don't necessarily have to go full into handstand, but you can use the wall. Yeah, I'll borrow your mat. Should look something like that and not something like this. Try and get yourself tight. That top leg isn't really doing much work other than stretching, and it's the bottom leg that you should jump off of, okay? 5 and 5, single leg, negatives. Remember negatives from yesterday?
Mm-hmm.
Down. Bringing one foot down at a time.
To the hands, right?
Yeah, I like to think about trying to touch my forearm or my wrist.
You want us to use a partner for that to hold the up leg up?
If you have a wall space, 20 seconds single leg hold. So the single leg hold is like 20 seconds, top leg straight, bottom leg bent, 20 seconds. Obviously you're gonna do some serious rests in between. Single leg tuck pike push-up is essentially the transition out of warrior that we would all aspire to do. So you can, this is the tuck, pike, and the important part actually here is working on a controlled push-up. Notice that my head like moves forward. So make sure that your head and your chest are moving past your hands as you do that push-up. So it's 4, that's 2 on each side. Then you go back, pike push-ups, and then pike push-up slides. Remember the slides we did in the beginning yesterday? 10 tuck jumps. Remember tuck jumps, everybody? We did it yesterday?
Yeah.
Yes? Okay. Bakasana jump back or handstand. So 6 times Bakasana jump back. Let me show this one. I'll show the jump back here. So if you're working on doing Bakasana, a lot of times when people are new to Bakasana, they stop here and then they try and lift their feet like that. But when you start to really get Bakasana, you know that you're leaning forward in order to get, like you never pick up your feet, you just lean forward into your hands, right? So if you are uncomfortable jumping back, it should just be following or falling into that lean. So your head should be moving forward. It should not look like that. It should look like, think of unfolding in 2 directions. So your head and your chest forward again. And the other option, of course, is if you guys are awesome, which I know some of you are, you're gonna wanna work on getting a little height. If you want the wall, you can use the wall and try to go Bakasana into handstand. You can go into that, or that, whatever, doesn't matter. 30-second single leg Bakasana hold. This is like one of the best things in life ever. If you want to, like, this is really good to just test the strength of your serratus, and I'll show you why. So your single leg Bakasana, if you can't do Bakasana, obviously just do Bakasana. But, so you're gonna work on your Bakasana, pulling one leg in.
Oh.
So that free arm is actually the arm that you're testing. So it seems like both legs are gonna be, let's say in this case, on my left side, like my left arm is working harder. It's actually my right arm. So if I have the strength of the serratus, I stay up. If I don't have it, which many of you won't have since this is new, when you pull that leg over, you're gonna wanna fall. Keep falling. Allow yourself to fall as slowly as you can, so it's like a negative again. So you're working on controlled falling. Let your hip come down. A lot of people do this, and then they get frustrated and they're like, I can't do it. Yes, you can't do it, of course. So try and control it, that's okay. You know, like we all gotta start somewhere. So do that. 30-second single leg Bakasana hold. This is like one of the best things in life ever. If you want to, like, this is really good to just test the strength of your serratus, and I'll show you why. So your single leg Bakasana, if you can't do Bakasana, obviously just do Bakasana. But, so you're gonna work on your Bakasana, pulling one leg in. Oh. So that free arm is actually the arm that you're testing. So it seems like both legs are gonna be, let's say in this case, on my left side, like my left arm is working harder. It's actually my right arm. So if I have the strength of the serratus, I stay up. If I don't have it, which many of you won't have since this is new, when you pull that leg over, you're gonna wanna fall. Keep falling. Allow yourself to fall as slowly as you can, so it's like a negative again. So you're working on controlled falling. Let your hip come down. A lot of people do this, and then they get frustrated and they're like, I can't do it. Yes, you can't do it, of course. So try and control it, that's okay. You know, like we all gotta start somewhere. So do that. 30-second single leg Bakasana hold. This is like one of the best things in life ever. If you want to, like, this is really good to just test the strength of your serratus, and I'll show you why. So your single leg Bakasana, if you can't do Bakasana, obviously just do Bakasana. But, so you're gonna work on your Bakasana, pulling one leg in. Oh. So that free arm is actually the arm that you're testing. So it seems like both legs are gonna be, let's say in this case, on my left side, like my left arm is working harder. It's actually my right arm. So if I have the strength of the serratus, I stay up. If I don't have it, which many of you won't have since this is new, when you pull that leg over, you're gonna wanna fall. Keep falling. Allow yourself to fall as slowly as you can, so it's like a negative again. So you're working on controlled falling. Let your hip come down. A lot of people do this, and then they get frustrated and they're like, I can't do it. Okay? Tuck negatives, 4 tuck negatives. So you can go into handstand on the wall and then work on coming down as slowly as you can. Try for either coming down into a squat like Pashasana position, or trying to land on your arms like Bakasana position. Either one is acceptable. Then we have tempo push-ups and pike up dog to pike slides. I should show that real fast. So I'm gonna borrow Alfie's towel. So you're gonna go from up dog position and lift and round your back and pull your feet forward. So you're gonna do those 5 times, I think. And then 10 times pike jumps. Borrow the wall again. So your pike jump, you can do it either where you get ready to launch back forward. When your feet leave the ground, you're gonna go straight leg. That's acceptable. A little air time, that's acceptable. Or all the way up. That's acceptable. Okay, so pike jumps, 10 of those. If you don't have straddle press and handstand, many ways to work on it. Option number 1, work from headstand. Option number 2, work from tripod headstand. Option number 3, if you're awesome at those 2, work on forearm. straddle. And if you can do forearm straddle press, but you can't do handstand press, you can work on doing, it's a kind of like doing a cartwheel. So you want to start with your feet right behind your hands. I'll actually just show the press really fast. So basically, when you put your hands down, you're in this position here like this. Now, with this position in a forward bend, my hip and my shoulder isn't in line, right? So I can't get up. So the straddle or the split helps get my hip forward so that my hip is in line with my arms. The straddle is here. It's not here. I see a lot of people doing handstand on the wall, and then they just separate their legs and they think they're in a straddle. The straddle has to be with your hip in flexion, not extension. Make sense? So, if you're working on straddle pressing, which is a good goal, because it will help basically get your hip in the right position, you can go one leg and see if the lift of that leg can pick up the second leg. If it can, let it slide to the opposite side. So if I lift my right leg, my left leg will fall to my right hand. I lift my left leg, my right leg will fall to my left hand. So those are good pressing exercises. Even if you can't do the press, you have something to work on, okay? But for most people, 30-second straddle hold. If you're uncertain about that position or it's foreign to you, just work on that 30-second hold in a headstand. If you're great at it, work on it in handstand, that's fine. 8 forearm stand negatives. So if you can't do forearm stand, obviously it's just work on forearm stand. Like just maybe do 1 or 2 20-second holds or 10-second holds, something like that. If you can do forearm stand, this is actually a good drill, not only for like your shoulder strength and pressing strength, whatever, but it's a great drill for Karandavasana. So you'll go. Tuck negative on a forearm stand. Sliding jump backs. So many of you are doing that in your practice today anyway. So it's like full seated to a push-up, from a push-up to down dog back through. So we'll do 5 of those total. Handstand push-up negatives. So 10 times handstand push-up negatives. If you feel comfortable doing the pike push-ups is just like a baby step towards handstand push-ups. So just the negative, you can use a block or a rug or a towel or a blanket to put your head down. We're gonna aim for doing like a tripod shape again. Don't put your head right between your hands for these. There's different ways of doing it, of course, but let's try and keep the triangle, the head forward shape. So you kick up, and then that's 1. So you're going handstand to headstand, handstand to headstand, handstand to headstand, just the downward motion. You're gonna do a good rest, and then you're gonna try 5 times the upward motion. Don't try and do it together right now, unless you're great. But for the most part, when people try to do full handstand push-ups and they don't practice it, what winds up happening is that you're just going like a really lame partial range of motion. You're not actually going down and up, right? So for these, you're gonna go to the positive, not the negative. You'll start in tripod, and then you'll straight push up, or you can kip up. This you might wanna have a little bit more space. I'll show you both. I'm gonna start in tripod. Straight. Okay, and then you'll just come down. You don't have to go backwards. And kip, there's 2 ways of kipping, but for space sake, I'll show you a tuck. So you'll go you're using your hips and your legs to help the